So today I just wanted to have a quick little talk about Contra deals or brand deals or whatever you want to call them. Basically, how using your camera can get you free stuff. And I say free stuff with air quotes because technically you are still working for it. You're just working for it with photos or videos or content. The big misconception is people think that you've got to have a big social media following or bigger online presence to work with brands in these situations. When the reality is, if you're skilled with a camera and you can create the content that these companies want, then it's pretty simple to work with them and exchange their product or goods for your skills with a camera. When it comes to the social media side of things, there's two ways to go about it. If you've got a large following on social media, often brands will approach you, and what they're looking for is to use you as an advertising tool through your subscribers or your followers. But the other way to do it is if you're a skilled photographer or videographer or content creator in general, you can market those skills to these companies or brands in exchange for their products. And a lot of the time you can build up good relationships with these companies too that can go on for years, as that's exactly what I do. So essentially, instead of them using you as an advertising tool, they are paying you in their product to make the content for them to then use in advertising campaigns or on their social media or any type of marketing in general. And the thing with doing these type of contra deals is that, in my opinion, it has to be a fair exchange. Depending on the products that you receive for payment should depend on how much you output. Like I said, in some situations you build up relationships with these brands, as I've done over the years, and I have a few brands that I work with on a long-term basis in this type of contra situation, as well as a bit of actual paid work here and there. But basically you've got to make sure these brands or companies aren't taking advantage of you at the same time, because ultimately their products are only worth so much. So you really need to do the math on what your rates usually are compared to what you're receiving in their product. And you don't need a large following to do this. I've been working with brands since I had bugger all followers on social media or any of that, but I had the skills that they needed to create the content. And once I got the confidence up, you just reach out to them and say, look, this is what I'm offering, this is the value I bring, let's work together, or let's collab, or however you want to word it. If there's a product that a company has that you're interested in or you want to try or use, it's worth reaching out and asking if they would be interested in this type of deal, because I think you'd be surprised at how many are. You've got to look at it like this. They would have to pay a photographer and videographer to go out and shoot this stuff anyway. So for them to work with content creators or photographers or videographers in exchange for goods, it saves them a lot of money. And if you're bringing value and shooting the stuff that they really like, you will be able to continue these relationships going forward, and it works out great for them and you in the long run. Because if you've got professional level photo or video skills, I think you'll be surprised at how many brands will be interested in working with you, whether on single projects or long term. You've just got to have the confidence to reach out and ask. So that's how I get a lot of free stuff with my camera, and how you can too. I collaborate with a bunch of different businesses and companies and all sorts of different products. A lot of the time, if I want something, even if it's a high ticket item, a lot of the time I'll reach out to them and say, look, this is what I do. Would you be interested in some sort of contra deal? And hey, if the answer is no, then I'll just buy the product. Remember, in every photography situation, the worst they can say is no. The further along your professional photography journey you are, the more you get used to being told no, and eventually it just becomes the norm and you get used to it. So go and reach out to some of those companies you want to work with and see what comes of it. See you in the next video.